through the lot, now you know I'm coming through. When the growth look good on you, best believe they wanna screw now. I've been trying to climb, devil threw me in the dark. Baby, don't be insecure, you can still go make a mark like blow. Could never let them drain my soul now. Blow. Table turning like doorknobs, wow. Blow. I think I'm about to set sail. I'm a walking, living legend, walking with my chest out. Life keep dealing me cards, I keep feeling it.
Yo, what is going on, people? You know the vibes, you know the tides already. Big up to everybody in the building. I hope everybody is well. We're here as per usual. England match reaction. Yes, England live to fight another day. The great escape, the lucky escape, whatever you want to call it. England beat Slovakia 2-1 in extra time thanks to a Jude Bellingham bicycle kick and a Harry Kane header. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been crazy the last, like, would I say 12 hours or whatever, 24, 36, whatever. It's been mad. It's been mad since that game. Seeing the reactions. Obviously, of course, we all watched the game. We all saw the performances of the players. We saw certain things happening that we weren't really too happy about. Do you know what I mean? We weren't really too happy about. Of course, I'm joined by Mr. GTV 2 himself. Big up, my bro, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Obviously, I feel like it's coming home. Summer of '89. It was my dream, man, and that's gonna happen, man.
That's a summer of '89. Fucking hell. Big up everybody, of course, in the
I'm good,
chat
though,
as
man.
well.
I'm good.
No. Of course, man. I'll go quickly run through some of the comments, and of course, man, we'll dive into it, man. We'll dive into it, and we'll talk about a couple of the players, a couple of the performances, and stuff like that, and what England looks like moving forward. To be honest, because now they're into the next round. Of course, they're going to be facing off against Switzerland. I believe that's on Saturday. I think it's on Saturday. People correct me, of course, if I am wrong. Big up Mustafa. Jude is clutch. Mano was good. Big up TBG in the building. Hope you're blessed, my bro. Big up Social Joins. Yeah, we've got Switzerland in the quarters. Big up Tony Bloom. Hope you're doing well. Honesty, my main man, my guy, my bro. Hope you are doing blessed. Bro, Slovakia nearly proved me right. Fumbled that bag last minute. Now, bro, 100. Listen, I was here for the meltdown. I'll keep it a buck. I was just here for the meltdown. I was fully just here to see the meltdown of England losing to Slovakia in the round of 16. Like I said to Jerry before the tournament started, I said England are either going to do really well or they're going to fuck up. They almost went for the latter in it, so would have been mad. Tony saying Rice and Manu as a pivot seem to work well. Good balance. Left hand side is still a bit unbalanced. I hear it. Honestly saying I'm going to say something that England fans won't like, but Jamal Musiala is levels above Jude, but Jude got mad PR behind him. Yeah, come on, bro. What, Musiala? Yeah, bro, we're not going to talk about that. Big up Entar Mitty, man. I hope, bro, where have you been? I haven't seen you around for a little while, man. I hope you're doing blessed. I hope you're doing well, my bro. Big up YouTube name. I can't lie. Wild celebrations after scoring against Slovakia is crazy. Hey, listen. Slovakia, Slovakia. Jerry, man, chat to me, bro. Obviously, we spoke. We was all talking like throughout the game and stuff like that in terms of what we were seeing, and you pinpointed like a few bits and bobs of certain players in the team. But just as a whole, before we dive in, how was it for you, bro?
I mean, pants, bro. Pants. For me, there was one team there that just looked superior in terms of footballing ability, bro. Just understanding what they want to do, the goal that they scored. It just proves what we've been saying, in it. Like, culturally, I just think there's an issue in this country of not wanting to kind of accept where England are as a team, culturally, how we're brought up to play football. Obviously, this is changing at grassroots level. But if we're being honest, like, when England tried to ball out, the balling wasn't working. The balling wasn't working. The only time it started to really work was when, we went direct. Our first goal we scored from a header and a bicycle kick, but that came from a long throw-in. The other one was a corner across into the box. We win the first ball and win the second ball. Like, it's mad. Like, that's the goals England scored. There weren't no nice bits of play. Slovakia were doing that. Slovakia were doing that. And that's with Mainu in the team. And I don't want to hear people say because Mainu came in about that was like he was like levels above what happened. It didn't make a difference. It didn't make a difference. And that's not to say I don't rate the guy, but it didn't make a difference. It didn't make a difference. You could have had Gallagher in there, it would have looked exactly the same. Heck, you know that like you just when he came on, he done all right, he just pressed a bit. Anyway, I'm gonna jump in and jump out, but give me like 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, do your thing, man. No, do your thing. But no, it's guys that like listen. What Jerry's saying, 100% true, man. I think you see a game like this, especially with like the way that England, of course, they performed poorly and stuff like that. Like when I watch games like this, I'm just like, it's just funny. It's honestly just funny to see because, as Jerry said, like we're watching and listen, I like Mainu. I think Mainu's a good player, and this ain't even to single him out, to be honest with you, because the whole team was shit. Like that, nobody came out of that game with their head, held high. In my personal opinion, man, it was awful to watch, man. Like it was so horrible. Like thinking to myself, like it doesn't seem to matter what he does. You've had Trent in there, you've had Gallagher in there, you now had Mainu in there. Now, having Mainu in there, would I say it was a little bit better? Yeah, I would go as far as saying, yeah, it was a tad bit better. But was it so much better that we're now like, yeah, we've got to have this moving forward? Remember, this is a guy, manager who's told everybody that he's been, experimenting, with the starting 11, especially the midfield anyway. He's been experimenting with that. So when I'm seeing Mainu come in, and obviously he was the only change, I'm just like, what are we supposed to be seeing here? Like I don't really understand it, because the reality is England are still playing the same way. England are still doing the same things. It's not really changing. In fact, if I'm being 100% honest, this was probably England's worst game in the group. I'm trying to think back to the group. It's England's worst game in Euros. I'm trying to think back to any of the games in the group stage. Were they as bad as this? I don't feel like it was. Again, people in the chat, let me know in regards to that. Maybe I'm missing a game. Maybe I've just completely forgotten something or whatever. But off the top of my head, that was the worst game that England have played in this entire tournament. And we're people are lauding certain people's performances and this, that, and the third. And I'm saying, really? Like, is that really where we're kind of going with this? Because to me, it was rubbish. It was absolutely rubbish. It was awful. There was so many players played poorly. And again, we can dive into it, and we can talk about certain players like the Carl Walkers. I thought Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, Foden, all of them, they all played rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. And the fact that, and again, I don't want to disrespect Slovakia, by the way, people. I don't want to disrespect anybody who's from there. I don't want to disrespect, their fans and stuff like that. But come on, guys. Like, there comes a point where you're just like, I get it. Listen, England won and they're through to the quarterfinals. So there's obviously credit in that, playing poorly and still able to actually make it through. That's actually a good thing. That's a good kind of trait to have, right? No problem. But guys, we all have eyes, man. We all have eyes. We all watch the same performance. England were seconds away from getting knocked out against Slovakia. And it wasn't even as if to say like Slovakia were lucky and their goal, fantastic goal. Opened up England's back line. Fantastic goal. Got in behind, was able to finish. Absolutely good finish. Boom. And it wasn't even the fact that from that point on, they just sat deep. No. Bro, they were still having chances. They were still playing nice football. They were still getting in behind. And even prior to them scoring, they could have scored before that. So I'm just like, yo, like I'm watching England. I'm sitting there thinking, and big up Steve, because I said it before when we were talking about like all these other teams and stuff like that, right? I said all these other teams, right? If you looked on paper, England have one of the best teams probably the first or second best team on paper. If you just looked at the profile of players, the PR behind all of these guys, what they've done in this last season, etc., right? No problem. But what I'm seeing from Slovakia, what I'm seeing from Austria, from Switzerland, from Denmark, from Spain to Germany, what I'm seeing from all of these teams is their own identity. So the football is looking a lot better, but you can see they're all working as a unit, as a team. With England, I'll be honest, it just looked like a bunch of individuals. Just a bunch of individuals, you just dashed them together. And you just said, listen, you man, when you're at Man City, you do your thing, man, Foden. So I want you to do that here. Hey, listen, when you man are at Arsenal, Declan Rice is the guy, right? He's the best midfielder or one of the best midfielders in the league, right? Okay, cool. Just go and do your thing here. Bukayo Saka, the same thing. Harry Kane, you scored all these goals. I want you to do the same thing, over here. But the performances, bro, like this was the worst performance that I think I've seen from England in a long time. And they've lost 1-0 to Iceland recently. And I thought this was even worse than that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I don't know what you think about that, Jerry, in terms of like individuals and stuff like that, man. But yeah, for me, it was just awful to watch, man. It was awful to watch.
Yeah, it was terrible, and it was terrible, and I don't think, like, again, unless you're looking at it and obviously like the individuals are playing poorly and just gonna just obviously sub loads of players on because you think they might just do better. I just think this system and tactically the players don't really have an idea of what they're doing, which is obviously worrying considering you spent Rice is a 100 million plus player, Bellingham's a 100 million plus player, Kane is probably valued at 100 million plus. You've got Trent, who's all these players are I mean, you got Walker that's won multiple league titles and Champions Leagues. You've got Stones that's done the same thing. And obviously we're in a situation where, they're struggling to understand what needs to be done. Like at one point you've got to kind of like, I get it. Southgate's not the best manager. He makes some poor decisions. Cool. But who's Slovakia's manager? Who's Slovenia's manager? Who's Romania's manager? Who's Georgia's manager? Who's Georgia's manager? I beg someone come and tell me who Georgia's manager is. Exactly.
Bro, I can't lie, I don't even know. Bro.
Exactly.
I don't even know.
Culturally, why are Spain able to, without and looking at their players when you're, Cucurella last season was getting grilled by Chelsea fans. He's the worst.
I was surprised he even made it. I'm surprised he even made it. I can't lie.
Because again, it's culturally. It's what can this guy do? Like Fabian Ruiz getting grilled all season. That PSG doesn't really do anything. Look how he's balling out. Reason why he's balling out because you get a couple of players that just know and understand, like culturally, this is how we play football. From grassroots level, from when we're 5 years old to when we're 10 years old. So they're just repeating the same patterns they're doing. And of course, they've got quality in there. With some good coaching, it can work. But when you're in a situation where, of course, in recent times, we're getting players, like we're developing players. It's probably long-winded, but I tried to deep it. Like I tried to deep it, and it was like up to the age of 18 right now, currently, especially being a coach at grassroots level, we can produce ballers. We've seen it. Like Bellingham's gone abroad. You got Sancho. We produce good players. We produce a lot of good players. But something happens between that point and the next step where I think it's down to not getting game time. Now, the reason why I say that is, you see, like a Fabian Ruiz, he was probably playing first team football from when he was 20 years old. Cucurella was playing first team football from when he was at 20 years old. He was at Barca. Like, whereas you're looking at certain other players and you've got like, and in the top leagues, you're looking at these other players like Eze. Where was he playing at 20 years old?
You're right. Fabian Ruiz was playing at the age of 18. He was playing for Real Betis.
Even earlier. That's my point. Earlier. This is what I'm saying. At the age of 18, these guys are playing first team football.
That's La Liga,
Exactly, and La Liga, but they're playing first team football in situations where they're playing to their style and within their culture, right? The problem we've got is that at the lower levels, right, in the academy levels, England want to play this balling out football. So you go and look at England in the under 23s World Cup or Euros or whatever it was, right? They had what? Who was the pivot? Angel Gomez and Curtis Jones balling out. Yeah, balling out. It looks silly, like balling out against these guys. What happens though is that these guys then go on to play, and if they do play first team football, a lot of them won't make it at the top teams because in England the top teams are all dominated by foreign players because that's where the money's at and they're not the best players, which is understandable. But then what you get is they've got to go and drop down leagues and be in situations where, like the teams and the managers just need to win. They just need to win. So they're doing it in different systems. So they're not all just playing football. They're not all just like, we're going to do this in a certain way. They're here having to go and play in different systems and learn how to go and win. And of course, that's great. But the problem you've got now is when you're at a tournament, right, where you're perceived, and a lot of your good players are perceived to be these better players, and you're looking at it and you're like, oh, we got Bellingham, we got Foden, we got this, we got that. And when you actually deep it, they're not the spines of the team. And they came up through a system where, you know, it was these guys like a Foden are being, you know what I mean, helped by the fact that a Guardiola's in the team, the fact that Trent's been helped by the fact that a Klopp's in the team that can create these systems that make these players better. Culturally, the club, the UK doesn't play how Jurgen Klopp plays. The UK has tried to do what Pep's doing, but they still can't really do it. You're still miles behind and years behind what Spain's doing. So what Spain's just managed to go and do is be like, all right, cool, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, we might have a time where we kind of, you know, our levels drop, but that's because obviously the guard is changing. You might have Javi that's getting old, and you don't really know whether to take them or not to take them, and you're in that situation. But we're in a period right now where Spain are balling out, and it's not, you're not looking at like Lenormand. He's looking mad. He's looking outstanding, but no one's talking about this guy. But guess what? Culturally, they just know how to play together as a unit. And the one time England really, for me, decided to go and play well, and it's going back to your point about the individual situation, right? Is culturally, if you've played football in this country at lower levels, at non-league level, how are you getting your goals? Back to front really quickly, use pace in behind, and then what we're going to do is get the ball into the box, get set pieces, get corners. That's where we're going to be really dangerous. That's when England started doing that, they looked 10 times more threatening. As soon as they got their goal, they started to do that. Walker, Cole Palmer was getting it, cutting inside, putting balls into the box. We're getting corners. You had a long throw from Walker. Like, that's how England need to go and play to do well. But the problem is, there's this ego facet of it where you're looking at it, and because we're seeing Man City ball out, you're seeing Liverpool ball out, you think that your teams can just come in, Aston Villas are balling out, and you think your teams can just come in and do that. And it's like, whoa, wait a second. Yeah, you guys probably got the capacity to go and play, but like, let's keep it a buck, innit? Eze's a baller. If Eze went to Spain, he'd be just another brother.
Yeah, he'd just be another one of them guys. Like, you're like, oh
he'd just be another brother. Like, I recall when Wilshere had the performance against Barcelona. And they asked the Javi and Iniesta and all them man about, I think it was Javi, they asked them about, oh yeah, what do you think of Wilshere? He's like, no, he's a really good player, but we've got loads of those guys that can do that in the academy.
I remember that. I fully remember that as well.
Do you remember?
Arsenal fans are losing their nut.
And the England media made it look crazy. Like, do you know what I mean? Oh man, like, and proof of the pudding is when Cesc Fabregas is sitting there and he's looking at the likes of like Foden, and he's like, brother, you got this ability, great. But the fact that you ain't really the guy to like give me the ball and that you ain't got the personality and the character to go and do that, then it shows culturally we're not a team that's built around that. Of course, in the right environment, everyone's gonna thrive.
Yeah, of course.
Henderson is a standalone player. No one's looking at him like a world-class player. But guess what? If he comes into the right system, he can ball out. He can ball out. And this is my point, is our technical players, unfortunately, are not on the level. And if they went to other national teams, they'd just be a player in that team. So you go and look at, like, I don't know, Musiala, and you're seeing what he's doing in a German system where Germany, what have they done is move away from what they did with that Spain situation. They're playing more German football. It's more high octane. They've got strong runners. They're a strong team. They're playing their way and they're looking effective at it. 2-3 years ago, when they were trying to play like 4-3-3, false nine, Hurts telling him to drop in the pockets. Bro, that's not Germany, innit? That's not Germany. So culturally, the way their team's brought up to go and play, now they're trying to play like this because the top players are playing like this. But you can't play like that, my guy. You can't play like that. It's like you have to kind of be in a situation. For me, you just got to kind of, England have to, I think even Southgate needs to just kind of understand, like, cool, we're not a team that's going to do this. Like, we're not going to go and play this, but what we can do is still be effective with how we go and play. And the players themselves have got to be humble enough to understand, I might have to play this role if I play in the team. Iniesta, like, you know, this all talk about Foden, oh, he needs to play in the 10 and da-da-da. When Iniesta was playing for Spain, he was playing out wide on the left.
I was just about to say that as well.
He weren't playing in midfield. Wait, for his whole career, 60 games a season, because they win every competition, he played in midfield. Yet he can go out wide and still boss it out and win player of the tournament and all of that, playing in it from a wide position. Fabregas can come in and play up front, and it's cool. It's normal. It's fine. David Silva, who plays in the 10 for City, he's playing out wide on the right. So for me, I look at it like, yeah, go back to your point. The players are an issue. They are an issue. Like and the manager's an issue. But the players also, unfortunately, do not really get to grips with the understanding of what to do in these situations to the level of how Spain do it. So you try to do it and ball out how Spain do and play through the thirds. You need to be brought up that way. If you start doing that at like 20 years old and you're 30 and someone started doing it at 10, bruv, they've got like 20 years experience on you. That's compounded. So it's no shock that Cucurella can come in and he looks so comfortable. He looks like the best left back we've like. Honestly, if we didn't see him, every Liverpool fan would be screaming for him to come to Liverpool.
Yeah, facts.
Every Liverpool fan would be.
Oh, we need to get this left back. Robo's down and that. Yeah. Of course.
Do you know what I mean? And England, and what happens with England when England put on Tony? They play 2 up top straight away, bruv. Regardless if it's pretty or not, that's another discussion. Is it effective for England we're doing? And yes, it was. They started creating more chances. Tony could have had a goal. He assisted Kane. We had balls into the box. Cole Palmer came on, was cooking his man and putting it ball into. It was fine. You had Gallagher pressing. You had a midfield. You need to just go down that route. Stop trying to play ball when you can't do it at that level. You can't. And it's fine, though. It's fine to say, I can't do it.
Nah, it's... I'm busting up, because obviously whilst you're talking as well, like I'm looking at like I'm thinking back as well to what you mentioned there. We're talking about the players, right? And one of England's main problems, and this is why I got the picture up here. One of England's main problems, and this is what fans, this is what we always talk about in terms of square pegs, round holes.
Hilarious,
bro. It's jokes. It's a joke. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, I need to take that. Like they spoke about, obviously, Ian Wright. Listen, he was getting called. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say because it's too. Yeah, I'm not even trying to get cancelled or anything like that or demonetized. But yeah, the stuff that Arsenal fans were calling this guy when he even just mentioned, yeah, let's put Saka left back, Cole Palmer right wing. Guess what happened yesterday? Saka went left back, Cole Palmer went right wing. So of course, Ian Wright's probably sitting there thinking, yeah, see, you guys need to just shut up for a second. My thing with that is exactly what Jerry mentioned when he spoke about like the Iniestas, the Fabregases, and all of these David Silvas and stuff like that. Man's not looking at these players and thinking you can't play this position. Why can't you play this position? You're all highly intelligent players. And obviously, I'm talking more about the Iniestas and stuff like that. But even when you look at some of these England players and the pedestal that we put these guys on, why can't you play that position? Why can't Saka play left back? Why can't he play left back? If it helps the team for the balance of the team, because England have no other, for some reason, you didn't want to bring Tyreek Mitchell, you didn't want to bring anyone else. You wanted to bring Luke Shaw, even though you knew he was injured. Okay, no problem. You're going to have to live with that, right? Guess what? You've got a guy who's actually played in that position before. Whether it was for a few games, because I know Arsenal fans are like, oh, we didn't play there long. It doesn't matter. He's played in that position before. He understands that position. Left wing back, whatever you want to call it, he's done this position before. So for the balance of the team, why is that seen as such a bad thing? Why is it in England we're so focused about, oh, but he can't play in that position? As you said, Foden can't play. Bro, if they're good enough players, I'll be honest, they should well, I'm not asking, by the way, and I don't want people to be silly with it. I'm not saying, oh, I need Trent to play in false 9. I'm not asking for that. I'll let you know that might be a little bit more unrealistic. Fair enough, because this is a defender. You're asking them to play in a forward position. I get that. I'm asking for midfielders to play in midfield. That's all I'm asking them to do. I'm not asking them to do anything that's like so outlandish where you're like, oh my goodness, how can he play in that position? We're asking these guys to play.
Yeah. Just to say a point as well, and again. I read wrong, I heard wrong. But when I heard Ian Wright talking about Saka playing at left back, what was his reasoning for doing that apart from the balance side of it? What did he say about Trippier, looking at the stats?
Oh, because England's fullbacks are having a lot of the ball, especially Trippier on that side.
Trippier had the most touches of the ball. Do you know what I mean? In the 2 games before this game. So if he's rating Saka thinking, cool, like he's having the most touches, why can't we get him in that position? Because he's going to give us width. He can still cook his man. You expect he's rating him, saying that you're going to get more touches.
Yeah.
That shouldn't. This shouldn't even be this idea. Like the structural. When I hear people saying like, "Oh, but he's not playing in his right position," like he's not playing in his right position. It's not about his right position. It's how can you maximize what they can do whilst accommodating everyone else. Because I told you already, and I've said it to people before. You can't have all 10 guys on the pitch, barring the keeper, wanting to be the main man of the team and to be the system if they're the system in their relative teams, right? So, do you know what I mean? If Gahey is the one that's more ball dominant at Palace, well, guess what? You got John Stones there. You're gonna have to allow it. You're just gonna have to be that brute at the back, right? If usually Walker wants to invert now, and Guardiola's created a system where he's inverting. Well, guess what? You're going to have to stay back a bit now because you can't invert because we've got Saka that's coming inside and we've got players in there like Mainu, etc. Rice, I know you play further up for Arsenal. That's where you've done really well, but you're going to have to play at the 6. Foden, guess what? We got Bellingham. That's a bit more. Do you know what I mean? You give us a bit more stability defensively. I don't know what Gareth is thinking, but deal with the fact that you're playing out left.
Box crusher is what I'm hearing recently.
It's just this is where it is social joints. It's excuses. It's excuses. It's excuses. And you're saying, hold on, there's more ballers on road than pro level, complete opposite of France who are bare players for price. Now, the difference is, do what it is about France, though. Do what it is. They're going and playing their system, and Rabiot's playing out left. He's playing in the 10, he's playing deep, and no one's complaining about it. Yeah. They're sitting back and playing defensive, but no one's complaining about it. They're saying, cool, we're going to sit back and we're going to hit you on the counter with Mbappe and with Dusman Dembele and trust our forwards can go and create something. England are trying to do this system thing. They can't go. We're not doing that, though. We're not doing that.
No.
Like, if France aren't playing nice football, France lost to Poland, like drew to Poland. What are we talking about? Now, France aren't doing, but you're saying now France have got bare ballers. Stop looking at the guy that's got the most step overs as a baller, bro. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, people are getting confused with the fact that, you know, like you see a man drop a shoulder and do all of this and you consider him a baller. Or the fact that, no. Go look at Lenormand. Go look at, like, do you know what I mean? Mikel Merino that comes on. The guys that don't have to do anything but still affect the game. Those are the ballers. It's not the guy that's, bare man on road doing stuff in the cages. Dead. Like what England are producing right now, when you talk about talent, is weapons. And that's emphasized by the fact that the only 2 players England have got in the squad that can really show a bit of like, you know what, I'm a baller in terms of like, I understand patterns of the game, rhythms of the game, is Mainu and Wharton, which only one of them's got on the start in the 4 games. The rest of them don't get it. They're all weapons. Trent's a weapon. He's a weapon. We saw it when he played in midfield. He's in there because of the weapon he's got, not because he's going to dictate a game. Like Foden, Rashford, like Saka, they're all weapons. All these wingers that we're producing, they're weapons. But where are you producing the cruises? Where are England producing those players? Where are you producing the Fabian Ruiz in this tournament? Where are you producing the Rodris? You're not emphasizing on these players, because what coaches want to do is focus on how quickly can man do step overs? How quickly can man do step overs and upset through a man and then smash it in a 5-a-side game? That's what it is. Yet you're seeing Slovakia, a great example. What was Slovakia doing? I didn't see one Slovakia person do any type of skill, any step over, any nothing. No.
They didn't need to. They didn't need to do that
because they're just trying to play their ball.
And they understand their limit, their pros and their cons, their strengths and their weaknesses. Within their team.
Exactly.
So they play towards that. It's true. This is why
I'm seeing them just pass, set, move, pass into the right foot, move. Like Lobotka looked mad in that game. Did you there was a point where Lobotka was even trying to tell him to play it here. They're just giving him the ball anyway in mad spaces, and he's dealing with it, not even losing the ball. That's what you call a baller. That's a baller to me, not someone that there's bare man that can do that. There's wingers can do that. You're right. There's bare man on road that can do it. How many of your man can do what Lobotka's doing?
Bro, you know what's even mad? I'm just looking now at Lobotka's stats here for the game. This guy had made 60 passes. He got 58 of those accurate. So he only misplaced 2 passes in the whole game.
And that would have been like a through ball or something. Like
that would have been, And I actually think I remember one pass he did actually misplace. I can't remember the other one, but I do think I remember one pass. Because I remember thinking, because obviously Jerry's spoken about Lobotka like before, and he spoke about him in this game. So I was watching him, and I was like, and I'm seeing what people are saying, because it's interesting to see people's views on certain play. Like he wasn't the chief creator. He wasn't doing like madnesses. He wasn't, as Jerry said, doing step overs, and he wasn't doing any of that stuff. This guy was just tidy. He allowed for their midfield to just be calm. Like they didn't have to worry in that midfield. Like they won the midfield battle. Like in my personal opinion, like I know people are talking about Mainu and they're talking about Declan Rice, but they, for me, won the midfield battle. That allowed for England, that allowed for Slovakia to be able to go further up the field, pick their moments. They were smart. That was what I was thinking. I was like, these men are actually kind of so like, and maybe because I discredited them a bit too much in the previews and stuff like that. So that's an L on my part. Maybe I got to do more research, into certain teams. But I didn't know that they were going to play this good, like be this organized against England. I thought, England should have a bit more. I know England have been dead, rare tear, and all of that kind of good stuff, but I didn't think they were going to be that good. Like these men were serious in the way that they were playing, bro. Like proper serious, man. So, and Lobotka was at the forefront of that. So when we talk about Mainu, when we talk about Declan Rice, and again, I think they're calm players, by the way. I don't think they're rubbish. I don't, I mean, I rate them, to a certain degree. Right. But when I'm looking at that midfield, like I said, Lobotka for me, like I said, brother, misplaced two passes in the whole game. In 120 minutes, 2 passes. Come on, bro. Like, this is what, and again, he's not playing in a team that has Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane, Bukayo Saka. Like, he's not playing in a team full of world-class players, as everyone loves to call these guys. He knows what he's working with. But still, for me, he was the one I was looking at thinking, I can see the experience in this player right now. I know me and Jerry were talking about, we're going back and forth about, not back and forth, but we're talking about, Declan Rice having experience and stuff like that. But when you could just see it, like when someone plays, like, okay, prime example, if big up Enns, by the way, love for joining in. Like, if I'm playing against, okay, I'll use you as an example, right? You've played, like I've played at academy level, but you played at academy level longer. You've been, in the, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you've been more experienced at that level than say I would. So if I was to come up against you, yeah, we can both say, yeah, we're both at this level. Like a Declan Rice can say, yeah, I'm at England international level, and Lobotka can say the same thing. But you've been at that level a bit longer than me. You understand the game a lot better than me. So your movements are a lot quicker. Certain things that you're doing is just quicker than I would even think about it. Not because you're so much better than me, for example, but you're so much more experienced at that level, and you can almost see it in the way that you play. I still need to get to that level. I still need to get to that level of experience, and that's what I looked at when I saw Lobotka and like a Declan Rice, and obviously Mainu's still young. So
great example, yeah, is when you're looking at Lobotka. He's not fast, he's not strong, he's small. Like, I mean, he's not like he's mad sturdy. He's not got a mad engine on him. He was blowing as well, yeah. But he's just doing little things like he's checking his shoulder. You're covering to his left. He just steps one side, one. He just takes one step to the right. That way, he knows if you pass the ball to me, it doesn't matter if you try to reach, I'm still going to get it. But I don't have to run around like that. The opposite of that is what Rice was doing, where he had a good game, and I think he played better after we started playing a bit more direct, when he was like switching the ball from left to right, and he actually played better then because he started to create a bit more space, and we had two obviously strikers on. But he was running around trying to find space, and he wasn't getting anything. He was doing the same thing, if not worse, because he was passing backwards in that first half. Lobotka was getting the ball, just like, stepping across, getting it, give it back, yeah. And it was like, those players for me, and this is for me when I've played, like, I had to do it because I never had like low center of gravity. But those are the most difficult players to play against. It's not the player that's going to go step over. I'm gonna no. Bruv, do that in front of me. Go on, like go on, just do that in front of me, and then what you're gonna do? Try and get past me. You're not gonna be able to do that. Do you know what I mean? So those players, like people's ideas of around like England are producing ballers. Yes, the overall technical level of players in England has 100% increased. Yeah, but the ability and the understanding of the game, the understanding of when to get a pass, what pass to play, what rhythm to play with, when to play forwards, when to play backwards. That is on. We haven't got that yet. We're still miles away. But if Walton and Mainu are the only players you've got in the squad available to you to be able to go and do that, that's a problem to me. Because you look at Spain, Mikel Merino, Zubimendi, flipping Olmo can come in and do that if he wants. You've got obviously Rodri in there. You've got Pedri. You've got Gavi, who didn't, obviously he's injured. You've got bruv. What's the other one?
Fabian
Ruiz.
Ruiz.
How many other midfielders they got in there?
Danny Olmo, if you want to kind of maybe attacking midfielder, if you want to call it that.
But that's what I'm saying. You go and look at like Germany in the past, right? And you had the likes of like Khedira.
Right, Jose Perez is in the front Spain team.
Yeah, Jose Perez are playing on the left, but it's what I'm saying. When you're looking at that, even Lobotka, you go and look at like Switzerland, Xhaka, right? That's why I'm saying Xhaka. Now, when I'm telling people Xhaka's a baller, man don't want to hear it because he's not doing step overs, he's not running around. That's what I'm trying. But you know, like if you played against him, those are the players when you realize that there's a level above it, level. Like I remember going abroad here in Poland and playing against brothers, and I thought, I'm faster than these guys, I'm stronger than these guys. I'm gonna do, bruv. I got made to look silly. You know, like I'm running around pressing, and them men are not running in the mad heat in pre-season, but they're making me look mad, like no skills, no flicks around the corner, just goal. And I'm here running around thinking I need to do stuff. You realize that's not football. And when Mainu and Wharton are the only players that can offer you that in the squad with the little experience they've got, it shows you how far away England is. So
yeah, because they just came the other day.
So it goes back to my point. You need to think about another way of playing, or you need to risk it all and go Wharton Mainu as a double pivot in that role, and just sacrifice. You got to sacrifice Rice, or you play him in defense, bruv. Gahey's out anyway. Play him at centre back. That's where you.
Gahey's out. Yeah,
I said it before, and I rate Rice, innit? I rate Rice. I think in the Premier League is effective. I think he'd be an effective midfielder in the right system. If you're trying to ball out and do what Spain are doing, if he was in Spain, he'd be playing at centre back.
Yeah.
He'd be playing as a centre back. He just would. Like, he's comfortable on the ball for a centre back. He's not doing what Mainu's doing. So you need to just play these guys. Now, En's can attest to this, bruv. En's can attest to this. The player that can do all the skills is the one that comes loads of times. Every man can do that now. He's right, but En's is right. But En's knows
bro, it's true, man.
Where's the brother that's not doing anything, but he's just going pop, 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 not having to run around, playing the right pass at the right time, the right weight, playing it onto the right foot. That's the baller. That's the baller.
Do you know what? Yeah, you mentioned that, Jerry. Yeah, there's a kid that I've got. I don't obviously mention his name online. Yeah, but he come in with the same step overs. You have to go and get the ball and run through. Bro, in the last 4 weeks, I've been like, no, bro, 2-touch. That's all. You see, now at the end of after 4 weeks, this guy's come to me and said, "No, thank you. I now understand the game better." I'm like, bro, you see now you can affect the game higher up without doing all of this madness, step overs, flicks, like you can do that, but in the effective areas. You don't need to do that all over the pitch, because 90 minutes you do that, you're going to be knackered, bro. Man, them are going to make you look silly. Now he's just popping it about. You can't get near him now. You can't, and those are the most difficult players to mark because you can't get to them. For some reason, they've just got this aura around them. As soon as you get tight, you're like, oh, I'm going to get there. Nope, knock it off. And all now you're doing is giving away silly fouls, silly like little things, and now you're like, I need to get him. And he's like, all right, cool, I'll drag you into this area, I'll drag you here. Come on then, come out, because then I'll just pop it around you. Now I've been listening, you bro, I can't lie, everything Jerry's been saying is 100% spot on, bro, and G as well. I've been listening, guys. Jesus Christ, bro, like this England team, people are going to be rating them now like, oh my days, Nainu was cold. No, it was all right, it was decent. Like, I don't, and when Jerry said, did he do anything different than Gallagher could have done? No.
He didn't.
Declan Rice in the second half, like, and you know I don't rate him like that. You know I don't rate him. So if I'm going to give him props, I gave him props. Second half, he was good, man. He did well in the second half. He started actually passing the ball forward. But in that first half, backwards, sideways. Savage makes a point here because Savage, he's out here trying to babysit everyone. Literally just going onto man's toes. Yeah, give me it back. No, bro, move out the way. And I was listening to what's the name, man? Michael Richards, Alan Shearer, you know their podcast they do, and they they were saying the exact same things. Like, why does he keep coming? Why do they keep coming short? Move. The centre backs can do that. You telling me my centre back can't pass the ball into midfield? I have to go 5 yards and receive it off, man. These are professional football players, bro. Like, give me space. And I said, bro, that Declan Rice, move, bro. Get higher up. Give me the time on the ball. I'll find you, bro. Why are you moving like I can't play it? Like, what, 5 yard pass? That's all I'm good for, bro. Get out of here, man.
You know. Yeah. Sorry.
That England performance is dead, bro. I'm so happy that Spain was after because
Yeah. Real talk.
Right.
I didn't see some good football. I didn't see some.
They saved me that. What? How long did we watch? 120 minutes of football, bro? 115. I can't even remember how long it was.
It's 120, but you got to remember the little half time is 15 minutes and all this extra crap that I wasted basically almost like 3 hours of my life watching that absolute shit show. Like it was horrible,
bro.
was
And
horrible.
they somehow found a way, bro. And I'm not gonna like mention this to G, but I would have loved if they would have lost yesterday.
Yeah. I needed the
I would
match.
have bro. I would have just loved it because I feel like, bro, this is going to be a robbery of football if these men ever win this tournament, bro. Because, and look, you have to deserve to win. If you get far and you score your goals, of course, you deserve to win it. But at the same time, bro, you've been playing so shit. And I'm watching all the other teams playing great football, but also getting the result. And for some reason, you guys just want to play anti-football. And I mentioned this to you and Savage last. I said, nah, Southgate just plays to the tournament, bro. He proper is like, no, it's tournament. We're going to do this. And we're not going to try and concede. And he proper looks at it as a tournament where the other teams are like, oh, yeah, we know it's a tournament. But at the same time, people are paying their hard-earned money to come and watch us perform. Like, there's no way these men are buying these tickets, going to these games and saying, I'm happy. And then at the end, because we win the trophy, all my days, it was worth it. No way. I've got more important things in life than that, bro. Like, that shit. Come on, man. That is dead food. And you're right. You might have been making pure sense this whole stream, bro. I've just been like nodding, yep, perfect, bro. How many man that can do what Mainu and them man there can do, bro?
Bro,
they got unknown Donnies. That's doing what's not.
And this is where big up Steve and big up Enny. Love you guys
boys,
for
man.
jumping in, man. I hope you guys are doing blessed, man. And of course, I want to get you lot's thoughts. I think Steve, you said, I don't think you said you watched the game, so to speak. But I do remember you speaking before the game, and I do think you were mentioning in chats, and I think I saw you on social media talking about who you think might win between England and Slovakia, and you actually said Slovakia anyway. I think I saw you say that anyway, and I remember sitting there thinking, hey, you know what? If Steve is saying Slovakia might win, maybe they might actually grab a little cheeky. He said the same thing about Atalanta with Liverpool, and look how that kind of panned out. I'm not saying you're going to be right, every single time. Of course, it don't work like that. But just for you, on whether you watch the game or not, obviously you see the result. England obviously ended up winning the game, but just for you, looking at that, one, were you surprised in the way that Slovakia even played? And if your answer is no, why were England so fucking surprised? Bearing in mind, you are not a coach. You're not professionally licensed to coach the football team, as far as I know.
I'm an American, bro. To make it
American too.
A freaking Yank, man. I heard in the first half Slovakia were like saucing. They were defensively sound, like Babaka was running the show. The goal from Trans is sick. That goal from Trans is sick. It's a beautiful, beautiful first touch, set him up, strikes it. Pickford couldn't really do nothing about it. I thought Gehi was a little bit at fault. Looked like kind of a communication sort of thing between the two center backs. But, so I felt like – but then I heard Slovakia kind of took it down a notch in the second half, and maybe that was kind of their fault. And that was their fault when they played Ukraine, when they lost 2-1 or 3-1 to them in the second game. They were all over Ukraine in that game. And it's like they should have ended up winning that game, but they took their foot off the gas for whatever reason. So I feel like maybe that's what kind of burned them. But yeah, like when you have that, like those players that can have those like kind of quality moments, like a Bellingham and a Kane, it is what it is. But no, I'm not surprised that Slovakia gave England a heart attack. Like I said, I didn't watch the game. I've been sick this whole freaking weekend. That's why I look like a freaking squarehead. I got a bad toothache, so my jaw all freaking swollen up. But, bro, so when I woke up and I saw the result, I was like, yeah, I mean, look, they have England got the players for it, but, like, I'm not surprised that they needed a 90th minute equalizer. I'm not surprised. And I'm not surprised Slovakia scored early. They've been scoring goals early in this tournament and then making teams work for it the rest of the game. So, no, I'm not really that surprised. What I am surprised is that it took England so long to get a shot on target. That's what I'm surprised about, because Slovakia do play a bit risky where they rely on their four defenders to be very, very good one-on-one. And I thought England, in those 1v1 moments, because that's what people are talking about in the other games, isolation. Get Foden isolated, Saka, and, whatever. Get them isolated to take someone on 1v1. And I was surprised that, it took so damn long. The shot on target to get them the goal. So a little bit surprised that England won, I guess. But ultimately, yeah, I guess the quality shown through. But I'm not surprised at all Slovakia gave them a hell of a game. I wasn't. That was my prediction, honestly. Very, very tight.
Bro, it's dumb. And just before any big up, man, before I get your kind of thoughts, I was just looking at whilst you guys have been talking, I've just been looking at the stats again because I didn't really care about obviously I don't care about the stats anyway, but I just found it interesting when I was looking, at certain things. England having 16 shots, Slovakia having 13. Look at the expected goals in the game. By the way, England are on the left, Slovakia are on the right. And it tells you a little bit. And by the way, I'm saying England are on the left. Look at their possession, 63%, which I knew that was going to happen because in Slovakia's last game, they only had 39%. And the other team, I think, had 61 or whatever it is. So I thought, okay, cool. This is going to be a game where Slovakia...
Romania.
So I remember thinking, okay, so Slovakia, and obviously I went through their other games and I thought, okay, so they're a team that don't mind not having too much of possession. It's more about what they do with the ball. And you can see, it's so funny, as Steve was saying about Slovakia in that first and obviously second half, the way that they kind of just didn't continue what they were doing. In the first half, you can see Slovakia had 4 shots. England had 6, in that first half. And look at the possession, 77-23. But then it's the second half. That's where they kind of lacked a little bit. They only had 2 shots in that entirety of that second half. But then you see the first half extra time, England, 2 shots, 1. Look at the second half of that extra time. They had 6. England had 1.
Yeah.
It's just mad when I'm looking at, some of these things, and again, this isn't me trying to disrespect Slovakia, but because we all play football clearly on paper, right? When everyone's talking about the way on how good England are and how fantastic they are as a team and et cetera, when you see all of these things, it doesn't bode well because I know we keep saying, okay, it's going to be the next game, this team, and it's going to be the next game. And so far, as En said, listen, you have to be good enough. If you go through these games playing this shit and win, there's going to be something to that. Man has to respect that in some way, shape, or form, right? Because ultimately you've gone and won the tournament, right? But bro, we have eyes, as I said before. I'm sorry, but we have eyes. We are all watching these games. Enny, man, chat to me about the game, man. Chat to me.
Bro, Gareth Southgate, you fraud. You disgraced, man. You disgraced. Oh my God. I don't know how you've gotten away with murder yesterday. I don't know how. I know we spoke in the chat yesterday briefly about whether we're happy or not with England going through. I'm personally not. I'm on the side of I'm on the side of I wanted England to lose. I don't know. I just wanted England tears, man. I can't lie.
Same. I love it. I can't lie. Sorry, England fans. Bro. I don't care. I want the tears.
Yeah, I can't lie. I love it. So I was smiling when Slovakia were 1-0 up in it. But obviously, I put in the chat as well. I just had a feeling that England were going to score a last-minute goal.
Yeah, I remember you said it. Yeah. As soon as you said it, bro.
I was like, I got a feeling England, I just had a gut feeling like England are going to score a last minute. So even though Slovakia were 1-0 up, in the back of my mind, I was just like, yeah, England are somehow going through. And we saw what happened with Jude Bellingham's goal. But no, he does black magic, man. He does black magic still. I've seen enough. You can't be stinking up the whole game for 90 minutes against Slovakia and then pop up in the 95th or whatever minute. I don't know what minute it was. Yeah. But in the last minute of the game, the 9 minutes of the game, and score an overhead kick, bro, and then scream, who else? Nah, this guy, bro. You can't get him down, bro. You can't. He's like Thanos, bro. Man said, run from it. Yeah, for real. Destiny arrives, all the same, bro. You can't run from this shit, bro. Like, it's crazy, bro. Oh, man, nah. But listen, I got to give Bellingham his credit. The other thing, though, bringing Tony, Southgate pissed me off, man. The way you were smiling in the post-match press as well, I'm just thinking, you fraud. Why are you smiling right now? You got away with it, bro. You should be vexed. I don't care if you won, fam. But bringing Tony on for the last 2 minutes, that was a disgrace because there was no guarantee. Because he was mocking it at that point, bro. Because I'm not sure. I don't think he believed at that moment that he brought Tony on that England were going through. Like, you're just literally giving him 2 minutes for what, bro? Like, why are you bringing him on? I know he was involved in the.
Tony was vexed though. He said it after the thing. Tony
yeah, you have to be, bro. You have to be. Certain men will refuse, bro. I know certain men. If you could ask certain men to do that, bro, they're not coming on, fam. They're not coming on, fam. Try and make man the scapegoat or whatever you're trying to do. I don't know what you're trying to do, but yeah, man. England, like they played shit and they got through it. That's all I can really say, bro. Like they played shit and they somehow got through. But if they play like that against Switzerland, hopefully Switzerland can punish them a bit more than Slovakia because of their extra quality. So that's what I'm praying on.
No, it's true. And by the way, big up everybody. Please, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you are, of course, smashing that like button. But guys, like, and people in the chat as well, please keep getting involved and stuff. And I'm reading like all the comments and I'm just like seeing the topic of conversation. But I think one thing that I was gonna say annoys me, but it's like more of a pet peeve is that I feel like people don't tend to use their eyes as much. I feel like we tend to run towards the stats when something when you don't like something and when we don't, and listen, I do it as well when I speak about Salah and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll be like, nah, but bro, listen, man, this guy's scoring this and he's doing it. Listen, it's understandable to a certain degree, but at times you do need to start using your eyes, I feel, a little bit more. And the reason why I say that is that I'm not trying to necessarily diss another player just to prop up another player, because that don't really make too much sense. But when we're looking at the way that, say, like a Lobotka played and the way that maybe a Mainu played or Declan Rice played, there's a very clear difference in the two. As I mentioned before, one just looked so much more, and he is, because he's older than them anyway, but one just looked so much more experienced than the other. Like, there's certain things that stats are not going to tell you. So I don't know, and I'll literally have a look right now. Declan Rice.
I do think Maino was good yesterday, though. Maino, he was good. I think he was our best. I keep on saying, bro, no, fuck that.
I heard he was your best player.
I think he was.
You say that, but but stats say the best player for England was
the best midfielder.
No. The best player for England, in terms of the thing, was Declan Rice. Yeah, he was the highest rated player for England from what I can see. So again, this is what I'm saying is that you're saying Mainu, and I wouldn't even disagree with you. Too tough. Why? Because you're using your eyes, bro. You didn't go to stats. You didn't go to how many passes he's playing into. Like, I don't care about none of that stuff because I watched the game. I watched the performances of these players, and let's keep it a buck. The ratings that they gave these players, none of them, man, are getting higher than a 5. As in, if you want to say Declan Rice was the best player, he's getting a 5. Like, no one got higher than that in my eyes. I was like, that's impossible. England were so bad that you reminded me of like it felt like I was watching, like, and no disrespect by the way to anybody, it felt like I was watching Kazakhstan versus Azerbaijan. Like, it just felt like that. It just felt like it was one of those games, and I couldn't tell you who England were, if they were Kazakhstan or Azerbaijan, because it was just so awful, the football that I was watching, bro. I'm seeing guys like Jerry mentioned about Carl Walker and the guys who have won, 4 in a row now? 4 Premier Leagues in a row, coupled with a treble thrown in there, a double thrown in there somewhere along the line. I'm seeing guys like Walker play shit. And I've been propping this guy shit. Absolutely dog shit. And I think the problem that you've got with like a Mainu, his performance yesterday, his performance wasn't that great. In my personal opinion, again, if you want to say he was the best or Declan Rice, it was a 5. It was average. But because everyone else was so shit, and I will say this, and I don't like using the word shit because I always feel like, nah, you're gone a bit too far. But you England players, you were so shit, like dog shit, that anything looks better than what we saw. Anything. So when someone dribbles forward, when someone plays a pass forward, everyone starts jumping out of their seat, and it's like, oh my goodness, guys, look what he's doing. When Cole Palmer comes on, all these England fans have an orgasm. Oh my goodness, Cole Palmer's coming on. He's doing this. And again, I'm not saying that he was like, the worst England player.
You're not saying he was shit.
Yeah. I'm not even going to say that he was even shit, so to speak. But again, is this good to you guys? Like, how are you guys rating this? Like, is this supposed to look good for you guys? But where I'll give England the credit, and this is what I have to keep saying, and I have to caveat, they made it through to the next round. They got through to the next round regardless.
You know what it is about that, though? Just the reason why I'd give them a bit more credit is just because, like, when things aren't going your way, bro, you can't, like, for a player like Maynard to win a game on his ones is going to be completely difficult. He can only control.
Of course.
He can only control what he can do in it. So if every action that he takes is a good action, then I'm like, cool. And I thought most of his actions were like I think
These are his first England caps as well.
Yeah. I feel like you made the right decision in those situations, and I'm like, bro, there's other way more experienced teams on the pitch, and they're not doing half as much as what you're doing. Like, even just showing intent to do the right things, like, cool, it might not always come off, but at least you're showing intent. There were certain players on that, certain experienced professionals on that pitch having stinkers or hiding, whereas I don't think Maino hid.
No, I don't think he hid.
Yeah, I don't think he hid. I think he played quite well. He looked dangerous offensively. Even when Cole Palmer came on, I think it's just about the intent for me, innit? Like what you're trying to do. Like I said, it might not come off, but at least I can see you trying to make things happen.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Whereas
fair.
other players are more like, I'm just gonna chill here, rely on the system. Southgate can take all the flack.
Wait until the 90th minute, then we
Yeah. Literally, there's no like intent. Like it's just
Listen, man, look, I'm not gonna keep the guys in here for too long. Anyway, we'll shoot out in the next like 5-10 minutes. And to be honest, it's only because I sat there and I just think to myself, bro, and big up Kells, because all I can say about that performance was it was shit. Like I can't think of it. Like I don't even like using vulgar like language because it just shows a level of literacy that you clearly don't have. But that's the only word I can describe it, bro. Like it was actually so shit that's the only thing I can say. And the worst thing about, and again, like Enns, we spoke about this yesterday on the phone, and what Enny said as well just there. Brother, I was only here for the tears. I was only here for the tears, bro. I was only here because I know that in Wembley, Box Park and all of that, I know these men are going to be crying their eyes out. Yeah, you see me? I'll go up there. I'll go drive up them to them sides just to watch these guys melt down. Both do some interviews. How about that? Did you see there was fans, they left the game just before Jude Bellingham scored. They left the game early. They were England fans. They left the game early. And what did they say? They said either he said crap or shit. One of those two words. When it's like the interviewer asked him, like, what do you think of the game? And blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, that was crap. Southgate's got to go. Like, he's got to leave now, blah, blah, blah.
They didn't even know the result. They didn't even know the result at the
time.
No,
obviously, they left when it was, remember, Bellingham scored in the 95th minute. I think they left just before that because they were trying to beat traffic in Germany, whatever, to get back to their hotel or whatever the case may be. So they were like, yeah, I'm trying to keep it moving now, but I ain't trying to be here for the end of this kind of stuff, which is understandable because it didn't look like anything was going to happen. But like Jerry mentioned before, I think, and this is, 100% Kells, absolute jammy bastards. I think when it comes to England, I think once you start to understand, whether it's playing 4-4-2, whether it's playing whatever, like I don't care about the formation, that's kind of irrelevant. You just need to go back to your own cultural identity. And this is something I've said about England since I've been old enough to understand what cultural identity is. England don't have that. As a nation, England don't actually have that. Remember, we take from the Caribbean culture, the African culture, the Chinese culture, the Indian culture. We take from so many different cultures, we don't actually know what our own culture is, to the point now where other countries look at England's culture and they can only attribute to drinking cup of tea and speaking like we're all from EastEnders. And I'm like, we don't all speak like this. Like we don't all talk like that. You get, like, there are some EastEnders, yeah, I get it. But and I like tea as well, but we're not all like that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not like that. Why? Because you don't have a cultural identity. Hence why we have to draw from all of these other places in order to almost build our own. And you're seeing it in the England football team, that they don't have a cultural identity. Well, they do actually have an identity, but for some reason, we're not trying to go with it. We don't want to do the whole, let's play 4-4-2. You got the two black brothers on the wings. They're just going to be the fast guys. Let them man do their thing. You got the two big black centre-backs. You've got the somewhat loud goalkeeper. You've got the engine in the middle of the park. You've got your big and small up front. Just play that game. Just play that game because you are literally one of the best at doing so. Literally one of the best at doing so. Enns, I've already done that still. Yeah, come on, bro. I saw your thing pop up. But yeah, and I think that's always going to be England's problem. Forget this tournament. I'm just talking even just in the future, whether Southgate stays, whether he goes, we're always going to see that because we know, look at all these guys, the technical Phil Fodens and if you want to say Jude Bellingham, but I'm going to just say more Phil Foden, Eze, them kind of players, bro, they can be as technical as they want. And I fucks with Eze. I think he's a top player. But you see, when them men are playing for these Man City and Pep Guardiola, do you think he cares about England? I don't care about any of that. He's worried about his own team and what he's trying to do. Did you get what I'm trying to say? So he's playing in a way that benefits him. He ain't worried about what England are doing, but these guys are playing that way. But when they come to England now, it's just all over the gaff. Like, honestly, just like I said, and sorry, Kels, I'm gonna say it again. England have been shit, and this was the worst game that they've had in this entire Euros, in my personal
And
opinion.
England can't play like shit against Switzerland on Saturday. You won't get away with it versus them.
No.
Do you know what the word I kept hearing as well? We look more balanced. I'm like, bro, did you watch the game? Balanced. These men were carving us open like we had no one in the midfield at all, bro.
Bro,
At all. Like Gay with the strapped up shoulder was working hard yesterday still.
Yeah, he was.
He was lucky, you know, because if my man went down, I know he scored in the end, but if he went down, you know, they would have got a pen and he would have got sent off.
Yeah. Well, he's missing the next game anyway. He's missing.
You know, he stopped the first goal as well when he threw himself at it. When they cut us open and he got in. Man burnt Carl Walker, by the way, and then he threw himself to block the shot because that was in.
Bro, you know what's mad about that ends, yeah? I don't in that moment, yeah, he did actually burn Carl Walker. But you see that winger, I can't remember who. I'll double check now. But you see,
is it Harashlin?
Yes, Harashlin. Yes, yeah. You see him, yeah. Man wasn't even like, I wouldn't, if they were to have a foot race, I think Carl Walker would still win. He wasn't even burning Carl Walker with pick. Man was just smarter than him. Like, in every opportunity that he got,
was this, bro. No, but he was cooking. Because you not see the one
he was
over there, he not make Carl Walker again. You not make him an and then so who took him out? I think it might have been Bellingham chopped him. He said, nah, relax.
Harashlin has been cooking everybody he's seen, bro. He's been one of the better left wingers in the tournament.
This is what I'm saying, bro. Strelic, by the way, I like Strelic. He's a tidy little player. I like that guy. I was watching him yesterday. I was like, yeah, this guy look all right. I like the way, where he was popping up in certain positions and that. He's got nice touches on the ball. Sometimes he'll drop deep. He'll go out wide, or obviously he'll play as that focal point through the middle kind of thing. But he seems like a decent. I've never seen him play before, but he just looked like a decent little technical kind of player. Like, and you're right, TBG. Like, Walker was making him look like, but it was just because man was just so much like smarter than he was. And I think if England, and we'll do the preview closer to the time. But when we're looking at England versus Switzerland, Switzerland, they're probably looking at that thinking, semi-finals, man, what you saying? Because there's no way. Like, and Switzerland are a good team. Like, if you haven't watched Switzerland, guys, got so organized, but they've actually got ballers, like players who can put the ball in the back of the net, like on a more consistent basis, in my personal opinion. And I don't think they're not a team when I've seen them play. Obviously, when they played against Germany and stuff like that, Germany are a more superior team in terms of the names, right? And that they've got in their team. But when they played Germany, I was like, Germany, like, they were a little bit worried too. Like, in the game, like, they didn't look like it was so comfortable for Germany in that game, even though they did go 1-0. I think they went 1-0 up, I think, at the time.
Well, Switzerland, sorry to cut you off. Switzerland are comfortable defending. They're comfortable making it a midfield battle because they have talent in midfield. They're comfortable being on the front foot. They're comfortable with kind of whatever. That's what Switzerland are to me. They can cope with kind of anything. Like, they were disappointing kind of in their draw against Scotland, but like against Germany, they should have had that over that dub over the line. You know, Nagelsmann finally let Füllkrug onto the pitch, which again is going to be the death of Germany, playing Havertz over him, but that's another story. And then the game against Hungary, that set the tone for the whole group, really, and Hungary's demise. So, bro, like, they're not a team you mess around with. They've got Jan Sommer in goal. He's been excellent. They haven't conceded many goals, and they demoralized Italy. I think Italy were already demoralized in that game. Just going into it, they didn't look like a very good side, but like Switzerland they wiped the floor with them. Minute 1 to 90, really. So, like, when you got like a solid, that back three has been playing with each other with years. Ricardo Rodriguez, Akanji, and Fabian Schär. You've got like three center backs with a lot of nice qualities. They all kind of balance. Ricardo's like the biggest one of them all, wins headers. Fabian Schär is so good at those, and for years he's been able to just vertical, setting off counterattacks, set piece threat. And then Akanji can kind of do a little bit of everything. He's comfortable everywhere. So that's for me where they have all their solidity in that back three. So, and then in midfield, Xhaka, Abisher, Freule, and Ndoye, who's been one of their better players. Again, a great mix. They're all intelligent. Mbolo's finally looking really good. So they've got a good team, bro. And a manager that knows what he's doing. This is one of the better managers at the tournament. One that would put Southgate to shame. So, look, if Switzerland are a serious team like I'm talking about them, then they'll beat England comfortably.
No,
2-1.
listen, I agree. I think I can't see if England win that game. I'll take them more seriously.
Impressive. It's impressive.
I'll actually take them seriously. Be like, you know what? Say no more. You actually beat a very, 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 very good team. But now, big up, guys. I'll end it here. I'll go through the last couple of comments. Guys, you will be redirected. Enns does have a stream later on today at 5:30, I think you said.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 5:30. So, yeah. After the stream, just make sure it's not on, of course, until 5:30, but just make sure you just smash the like nice and early, and then, of course, join Enns and a couple of the other guys in there later on today. I've just seen, big up honesty, because I saw you put the comment in there before, but I've just seen now that Archie Gray is now signed for Tottenham Hotspur on a 6-year contract from Leeds. Deal for midfielder, effectively 25 million plus. Leeds are getting Joe Rodon. They're finalizing the paperwork as they speak. It's delayed by being in the USA. Completion expected later today. So that's Archie Gray over to very, very good player. Very, very good player. Honestly, we're saying Nico Williams is the only player on record at the UEFA European Championship since 1980 to score a goal, assist a goal, and complete 100% of his passes in a game he started.
His passes weren't easy, back and forth, sideways and stuff like that. They were actually like meaningful passes.
No,
that's hella impressive, actually. Damn.
Big up TBG said Archie Gay career down the drain. Let's wait and see. I think Tottenham, we'll talk about that once all the internationals are done and all this boring football is finished. We'll get to the Premier League stuff, and we'll have a conversation about some of these teams and what it's looking like. And I'm sure myself or Enns or whoever will be doing our predictions in terms of the league for next season. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where everyone thinks everyone's going to finish next season.
You know what? Yeah, if you look at Eddie, bro, this man was fighting with something in his room.
Yeah, bro. I was looking at what's he doing?
No, but you know the maddest thing with him with the glasses here, how the camera looks. I like he looks like Ivan.
Ivan? Who's Ivan?
Tony, bro.
Oh,
Sly.
Bro, I'm telling you,
Sly.
Bro, I was doing stepovers in my room, bro. I forgot I was on camera.
I thought you was fighting someone, bro. I'm like, what is he doing? I see the leg, I see the little shake. I'm like, oh shit.
I got up to close my bathroom door, so I do stepovers. I was like, oh shit, I'm still on cam, you know.
That's not thinking you do the madness in your house, and you gotta be careful, you know. Listen, that's why sometimes I gotta turn that camera up quick because I'm like, hey, I don't want to see what's actually going on, what's going on here. Steve, have you got anything popping? The watch alongs for today? I'm assuming for the games.
I'm just doing Portugal, Slovenia. I'm doing a watch on for the France Belgium game on my other buddy's channel. And then I think I'll probably do the 2 games. I'm doing 2 games tomorrow. Then on Wednesday there's no Euros. So I think I'm doing an MLS watch along, and then Thursday and Friday I think I got something else planned. So that's pretty much all I think I've got for my channel coming up. But yeah, big up. Good to see y'all on the channel. And yes, obviously Uruguay is gonna smoke up the USA pack. It is what it is.
Hey man,
that fucker will score, and he will score. It'll be annoying.
Hey, listen, but if he scores again, then how many goals he's got so far?
7 straight games.
Yeah, he is
streaky. He is hella streaky.
Bro, this guy is moving on some. Someone said, I saw a comment someone made. They were like, brother, this guy's moving on Ballon d'Or form. I was like, well, yeah, like you scored that many goals in that amount of time, you kind of are, right? So it is what it is. But guys, everyone's is in the description below, so make sure you guys, of course, subscribe to everybody in the channel. As and said, back at 5:30 for the stream, and of course, Steve has got when's the Portugal game? Is that the 5 or the 8 o'clock game?
8 o'clock.
Yeah,
Is
correct,
there?
yeah.
Okay, cool. So again, guys, make sure if you're not doing anything, 8 p.m. In fact, head on over there now and smash the like button regardless. Make sure you guys, of course, go and do that. Enny's Twitter is, of course, in my description as well. So you guys make sure you head on over there. And follow, guys. We'll be back. I don't know when. I don't actually really care when, but we'll think of something. I know I've got some Liverpool stuff actually lined up, and I thought England was going to get knocked out yesterday, so I had my week planned. I was like, okay, yeah,
You plotting on me downfall. You was plotting
no,
on me
you know,
downfall.
you know what it is like, because I'm someone like I like starting off. You know, like Mondays, the beginning of the week, so I like that. So I thought, okay, England get knocked out on a Sunday or Saturday, wherever it is, and then Monday I can go back to just talking about the certain Liverpool topics that I wanted to speak about, and then we can just continue from there because no one cares about the rest of the Euro, like in terms of some of the other teams in the Euro. So, but it's not meant to be. We have to wait another week before that happens. But guys, don't worry, we will be here Sunday morning, and we will be here for the England tears. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Make sure you guys stay locked. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We're out, people. Peace.